Hey everyone, I'm come to talk to you today about RFID, which is, if those who don't know, radio frequency ID identification. Those are the chips that you can see have in credit cards. So those are different type of, anyway, those are chips. But what's come that is pretty amazing, I heard on the radio from the radio show Coast to Coast AM. So this is mainly taken from there, for those who may be aware of this message. There's something wrong going on. Macy's is now unloading, especially those who live in the New York City areas. I believe this is happening at the New York City offices. Macy's is coming out with, has decided to roll out RFID which is spy chips, in their shoes. Like, I believe this is like quite a new astronomical amount. I believe it's 300,000 pairs of shoes that they have. 300,000. Think how many people that is. 300,000 plus, that's just to start with, and in your clothing. Now you may think, well, what does that matter? It's just a chip, you know, who cares? Well, the thing is, when you get to the cash, it is not necessarily going to be, it's, once they've took it out, they can still track you. It's a kind that's not encrypted, from my understanding. And I'm going to leave a link in the down bar where with the privacy expert KATHERINE ALBRECT, and I'll even leave the radio show link if you have a lot of time and you want to listen. She really explains it in a radio show. Again, Coast to Coast. That's where I listen to it. And I just really think people need to be aware of this. I call myself spiritual. I'm not religious, but it has come to my attention, you know, and many times in the past, that I believe there's truth in all religions, and it talks about the mark of the beast. And before you turn off, go mark of the beast. Oh man, I don't know. These things are sort of starting to slowly happen now. This isn't like, oh, this is going to happen. Like, I'm not sure you were in the Coachella music festival. They had to use a wristband to get into the event. Scan their right hand. No, it's not in your hand, in your body yet, which is great, but this is just the next step there. I wanted to add this as well. This is, again, all taken from, you can hear it in her own words, but whatever you do to get the message out. So I'm basically paraphrasing what KATHERINE ALBRECT had said about the RFID issue with Macy's, is they're looking to hook up the antennas that are connected to this RFID, you know, the trackable chips. This is to happen next month in August. That's not that far away. What is it, less than 2 weeks away? Like, 10 days away. It's pretty scary. Okay, so system, but we can fight it. The system is using the same system that is used, that can scan it at border crossings, and even privacy advocates spoke out against this, to not put this in physical items, saying, why would you do this? Now, here's the interesting thing. Even in the RFID industry, like the people who are making the chips, who are totally evil in my opinion, but anyway, even they said, you guys are crazy. Why would you use such an insecure technology, which is meant to be used for warehouse to track things? Why would you put it into someone's their identity? If you have a border crossing card, like again most people probably won't have this, but the enhanced driver's license, and you walk into a Macy's store, they will read your information as you stand in front of the shoe shelf, your unique number. And you may think, well, who cares? It's just your, personal number. But here's the way she put it. If numbers are so safe, why do you not wear your social security number on your shirt? Think about that one. It will be the biggest rollout on the globe. So basically, where you have these shoes, the computer instantly will, like, the reason why they put it is like to sort of look at the technology. The shoes and computer instantly say, okay, it's on the shelf, and then the computer will tells them, okay, well, where was the last time you saw that shoe? And they say, well, it was actually on whatever your name, on Sally. At last time you saw it was in the foot in the train station in Connecticut. Like, this is what we're talking about. This is real. And basically, if Macy's does try and roll out with this, there's going to be a big press release and boycott. You'll see this, Walmart has already been doing this sort of stuff already since 2005, which is why I don't shop at Walmart. The only time I have this year has been because I've had to buy from, example, Hard Candy Cosmetics, because I can't find, that's the only place that I can get it in Canada. And I figure it's worth the risk to buy there if I'm saving an animal's life. So basically, employees at Macy's should be up in arms about this. You'll be bombarded with RFID radiation all the time. It's definitely a health concern, especially in your reproductive organs. So, something to think about. What you can do is you can tell Macy's no RFID in your shoes and your clothing. You know, Macy's thinks it's time to become aggressive with RFID spy chips in its products. They use the word aggressive, and the reason why they use that word aggressive is, again, the person I mentioned, Katherine Albrecht, had spoken, from my understanding, had spoken to Macy's in the past, and they have stopped them from putting the RFID in. As soon as she as soon as she got breast cancer, that's when they decided we need to become aggressive, since she's sort of, just because, sort of out for a while, that they thought, oh, well, then she's just not going to do anything about it, so let's just roll it out, and that way we won't have to alert the media, and people won't know. And yeah, so there may be a boycott coming to a Macy's near you, because this is, like, extremely scary. It is not a good time to roll out RFID. It never is, in your shoes and clothing. Do you want people to know exactly where you are, what you're doing at every single second? Some people say you may not care. That's up to you, but like, there's just read what it says. Like, the concerns are basically Macy's did get back, and they've said this. I'll just sort of say the positive. Well, let's go with the sort of the more concerns, because that's really what matters. Basically, Macy did not answer all the questions. This sounds very familiar if anyone who are into animal rights. Does this sound familiar with what I've been talking about and how you contact companies? This is why I really caution. I know this may seem unrelated to this RFID issue for some who aren't really concerned about animal cruelty, but Urban Decay, a company that was launching in China, where animal testing is required by law, decided to not go there. And everyone thinks, yeah, you won, and now we can use them now. And that's why I'm really using this story to explain and show you that just because a company seems like they're not going to, we have to go with what other companies certify them by, but really you need to use your own heart and your own intuition and judgment and experience, like wisdom. Like, these companies, as soon as they feel that they're ready, that they can swoop on in and, carry out their agendas, they're going to do it, and they're going to try. And Macy's, that's again using this as an example, so Macy has not addressed the crucial issue of labeling and how they're going to be doing it. Macy doesn't either understand or think we don't understand that product ID numbers become uniquely identifiable customer data when combined with the customer information in a database. Knowing when you go in the store, they will know everything about you. They'll know your medical records. They can know your, again, I'm saying if you're buying their products and using it, again, these things. Also, if you have an enhanced driver's license, most people don't have those, but if you're living in a border state, that's something you might want to be aware of, that they're linked to it. And someone even called in who was a trucker who, again, that's not his truck, and they knew who he was. They would call out his name, again, listen to it, before he even got to the border. They know who he was, what your medical records are, they can decide what they feel, and it's just, there's far-reaching implications. So, it's all outlined in the link that I'm in the down bar. I really strongly suggest that you read it, or if you have the time, it's about an hour program, so you can listen to the program where she really addresses the issues. But don't become complacent. Just think, oh, well, that's how it is. I really strongly suggest to take your power back and to say, no, I'm not going to do that. No, I'm going to resist. In the Bible, it talks about, like, the mark of the beast of selling. You can only sell if you don't. Buying and selling will not, unless you have the mark in the right hand. And again, like, look at this concert. Unless you have a wristband and you go, you can't get in. Like, and people think this is cool. Like, I just think that it's time to wake up, rise and shine. We can do it. Just Macy's. You may want to not buy at Macy's unless you want to know that someone's tracking you. And again, what if you're confused to somebody else's identity and the number they have is incorrect, or it's somebody who's a criminal and you're accident? Like, there's just so many things. I know that sounds like conspiracy talk, but it's the real truth. Look it up yourself. If you don't want to believe me, even better, listen to the program. She'll get into it even in a deeper way, and you'll go further down the rabbit hole and see where it goes. Doesn't mean you need to live in fear, not at all. You just need to be aware of what companies are doing what, who you're supporting, and again, this is a wake-up call. Macy's is now wanting to unload on the New York City, the RFID in their clothing and shoes tracking you. They make it seem like it's a positive and great thing, but nothing is, she mentioned in the program, nothing is really free. There's a cost. Like, why do you think that they're doing these things? It's not for your benefit. Anyway, at least I let you know. Don't say I didn't warn you. You can email and write to Macy's and explain that you think that tracking clothing and tracking people is wrong and that it is never a good time to do so. And yeah, basically you can write them a letter at Macy USA Corporate Headquarters, 7 West 7th Street in Cincinnati, Ohio. 45202 is the zip code. You can call them during regular business hours. Their corporate phone number is 1-513-579-7000, or you can call them toll-free 1-800-289-6229. Press 03 times to get to a customer service rep. Send a fax to the attention of Tim Cole, Chief Administrative Officer, Macy's USA, fax number 513-573-2958. I hope this message serves you well. And any questions or comments, love to hear from you. Bye.